This is a Fox News alert. The investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance has now entered its third week, and the case may have caught another break. Hello, everyone. I am Tommy Lahren, along with Joey Jones, Kaylee McGee-White, and Kevin Cork. This is the second hour of the Big Weekend Show. So while authorities still have no suspects or persons of interest, the FBI tells Fox News that it has received preliminary forensic results in the case. Of note, one of the approximately 16 gloves recovered appears to match the gloves of the individual seen on the surveillance video at Guthrie's home the night she disappeared. The FBI says the glove contains a DNA profile, and they are awaiting quality control and confirmation before they put it in their national database. Back with us is Max Gordon, live outside Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson, Arizona. Max, what's the latest?
Hey, Tommy. Well, this glove could be a significant piece of evidence, but at this point, we simply don't know. The glove was found about 2 miles away on the side of the road, and investigators say that it does look similar to the glove that was worn by the suspect who was caught on surveillance camera outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. The glove was sent to a lab in Florida for testing, and according to the FBI, the preliminary results are now in, and they're waiting on official confirmation before putting the unknown male profile into the FBI's DNA database called CODIS. This process typically takes 24 hours from when the FBI receives DNA. Investigators collected about 16 gloves in various areas near the house. Most of them belonged to searchers and had been discarded while looking for Nancy Guthrie. If the FBI does get a DNA hit, it could help identify the suspect, but the operative word here is could. Here he's seen on Nancy Guthrie's doorbell camera, described as a male between 5'9" and 5'10", with an average build, seen carrying a 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker pack from Walmart. Meanwhile, the search continues. Fox News Digital learned that authorities have been using a high-tech Bluetooth scanner placed on the bottom of law enforcement helicopters to try to detect Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker signal. The helicopter has been seen flying in low, slow grid patterns in an attempt to pick up a signal. Meanwhile, there's been limited investigative work here at Nancy Guthrie's home over the weekend. There's just been one sheriff's deputy parked here, just standing by, guarding the house. But neighbors have been by, dropping off flowers and notes of encouragement. Some folks just stopping by to look at the house as this neighborhood still grapples with what's happened here. Tommy?
Max Gordon, I'm sure a lot of looky-loos. Thank you so much for joining us, as always.
Yep.
All right, so TMZ has played a major part in this mystery as they've received multiple notes from an individual who alleges that they know the identity of Guthrie's abductor and her current location. They're reportedly demanding $100,000 as ransom for that information. Joining us now is TMZ executive producer. He's been on the story from the beginning, Harvey Levin. Harvey, we appreciate you taking the time with us tonight. We know you're very involved in all of this. Have you received any more details from this individual? And how certain are you that this person is legit, meaning they actually know the whereabouts, they're not just a scammer?
Well, I can't tell you for sure if it's legit or not because we don't know who it is. I will tell you that the FBI has been definitely interested in these emails, but they are especially interested in the first ransom note that we got and a couple of local stations in Tucson got. They have been in touch with us multiple times about that ransom note. I am puzzled because I know Savannah Guthrie had said that they were prepared to pay. We have been checking the account and the ransom is not in there, but I can tell you the FBI is keenly interested in the ransom note. They are also interested in this demand letter. Actually, we've received 3 of them now from the same individual, but again, nobody has put any money in that account. Like you said, they're asking for $100,000. So far, there's nothing in there.
So on that very first ransom letter that you say the FBI continues to ask questions about, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like, I guess my question is, have you received any communication from anyone pretending to be or saying they are the same people from the first ransom letter?
No. The only additional communication was sent to one of the local stations in Tucson. We did not receive that second one. They did, and it matches the first. Those are the only two communications, at least the only two that I know of. But the FBI, as of Friday, was very interested in the note we received. And I'm not going to get into detail, but there were significant contacts over it.
Is it possible, or would you have any reason to believe that if you're not hearing back from them, those deadlines pass, but the FBI is still concerned about it, do you think it's possible at all that the family or FBI are now in direct communication with them and they're not needing to go through the media?
I don't think so, because as of Friday, the FBI was still trying to determine this person's identity. So if the FBI couldn't, then the family hasn't, because the FBI is clearly working with the Guthrie family.
Mm-hmm. Harvey, yesterday you said that if you were the Guthrie family, you would not pay the ransom. Now, is that because you don't believe that these letters are legitimate? And if that's the case, what's the purpose here in continuing to publicize them?
Yeah, I didn't say that. Somebody had asked me yesterday, why doesn't TMZ just pay the tipster who says for $100,000 I'll tell you who it is, and that would be really inappropriate for us to get involved that way. But I never said that anything about whether the Guthries should or shouldn't pay the money. I said I'm puzzled by it because they said they were ready to and they haven't. But this is clearly all part of law enforcement. I mean, this thing has been very well choreographed by the FBI.
Harvey, Kevin Cork here. I've been following your career for a pretty long time. I've been in the business for a minute as well. I can't recall a circumstance like this. Have you ever seen anything play out in this way? And if you've seen anything remotely like it, what usually happens? Because I'm grasping for straws here, trying to figure out where this investigation will ultimately end up.
Well, look, I mean, if this ransom note that we received is legitimate, and I think the FBI has reason to believe it may well be, this person has been incredibly successful at hiding his identity. Believe me, it's not for a lack of trying. So, as technology advances, not just for the FBI in crime solving, but for perpetrators, for kidnappers, to create anonymity, I think we're seeing that much more than I've ever seen in the past, because usually the FBI is able to crack things much more easily, but this was really, really sophisticated. So, look, I mean, there's a profile already in this guy. I mean, the guy is 5'9", 5'10". He appears to have a mustache, a goatee. We have identified both the backpack and the jacket that he's wearing, both of which were purchased at Walmart. There's no doubt in my mind, and law enforcement believes this too, that the guy is from the Tucson area. He is tech savvy and he is smart. The letter that was written is really well constructed. So at least that's something to go on, and I think it's going to build and build. I think if the glove, if this is, and I don't know, I mean, it's weird to me that it's OJ-esque that somebody dropped a single glove 2 miles away. So, I hope this is the real deal. There's something in my head that's saying, how could that be, that somebody who took that kind of care drops a glove on the side of the road? So I don't know. I hope it is. And there's, by the way, there's something called a PCR test, which is a sophisticated DNA test. And you can do a field one very quickly, which apparently they did, but they have to send it to the lab to get the real confirmation, which I believe is what's going on right now.
So, Harvey, just going off of what you just said there, and obviously we're all just speculating here. We want to make sure our audience fully understands that. But you said it's kind of odd that they would drop this glove off. It feels OJ-esque. Is there a part of you that thinks maybe they wanted that glove to be found? Maybe they wanted that surveillance video to be seen with them putting flowers over the doorbell camera, kind of like a bumbling idiot. Do you feel like any of this might be intentional?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I have no idea. If this person had Nancy Guthrie, how did he get her 2 miles from the scene. I'm assuming it's in a vehicle, and if it's in a vehicle, why is this dropped in a field? I don't know. Look, I don't know. This could be real. I hope it is. It's just weird to me.
Harvey, it's been a while now, so trying to recall the timeline of events sometimes is even difficult for us that cover it almost every day. My question for you is, from the very first ransom note, obviously you probably have contacts in federal law enforcement just because of the nature of what you all do, but have you had interactions with both the FBI and the local sheriff's office on behalf of investigating this? And if so, have you seen a difference in how it's been handled?
We have had contact with both. We have had more detailed contact with the FBI because of these letters, and they have been multiple. We've talked to people in the sheriff's department a lot, but not as much in depth. And really, you know, what we've got is much more interesting to the FBI because they have the ability to kind of hunt this down. I don't think the sheriff does. So we're dealing with both, but I think it's fair to say our contact with the FBI has been deeper.
Sure, I appreciate that.
Harvey Levin, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.